Now, one of the things that Shabana Mahmood, the new Home Secretary, has said is that she's going to restore order to our immigration service. And I guess you must have read over the last few days that she's been looking at the Denmark example. Denmark, who, for example, give you an example, migrants coming in have jewellery and assets seized upon arrival to pay for accommodation as part of how they do it. We thought we'd get a view of how it works in Denmark. We're delighted, I'm going to get this wrong. Michala, Clante, Bendixen is part of founder and leader of Refugees Welcome in Denmark. A very good morning to you, Michala.
Thank you.
I'm interested to know, the title is Refugees Welcome. I don't know if you've been to Britain, I'm sure you're aware. We're stuck in this terrible situation where seemingly people who are unvetted can come in. The country seems to be split between people who say this is completely unacceptable, our social services are in the toilet, we pay in and we get nothing compared to these people, and others who go, oh no, we must have lots of people in whatever. Can you tell us how Denmark got to a point where it doesn't have any illegal boat crossings?
Well, where would you cross from to Denmark in a boat? We have border crossings.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, we have very few arrivals compared to most countries and compared to like 10 years ago. And that is due to a very strict policy we have, but also to what we call negative nation branding, telling people that they would definitely not be welcome if they arrived in Denmark. Which in my view also has a lot of negative impacts on Danish society and on integration.
Do you, you talk about negative nation branding, you mean adverts, you mean social media, that's saying, you know, if you come here, you won't get a house, you won't get this, your assets will be frozen, blah, blah, blah. That's what we're talking about, right?
Well, not necessarily. We did that a long time ago, but the present government doesn't do that. But the atmosphere, the changing governments in Denmark have been very clear about, I mean, the present Prime Minister right now says clearly that her goal is 0 asylum seekers and refugees in Denmark.
And how does that go down? It is obviously something you don't agree with, but how has that gone down in terms of across the country? Because as I repeat to you, the problem in this country is so many people who might or might not feel that they want to support people who come from a worse situation. The two biggest lies that we're told repeatedly are all these people come from a war-torn country. Well, they don't, because they get to a safe country before they come to Britain, because Britain, I think, and many people think, offers far more than other countries. You offer less. Is that not the issue? Is the issue not that the pull is greater here?
We actually offer far more than Britain does.
Oh, do you?
It's just in different ways.
Like, I mean, what?
The social security system is far better in Denmark than it is in UK. But what we don't offer, and what refugees are very keen on, and which is their main goal, of course, is security and a future. So I mean, this whole discussion about the Danish model is about the temporariness that we have plunged ourselves into. All permits in Denmark to refugees are given for only 1 or 2 years at a time, and then they have to be extended, renewed, which they will be, by the way. So it's kind of a hollow policy, just resulting in a lot of stress and anxiety and fear. But in fact, we are not able to send people back, of course, because we are bound by conventions, as everybody else in the European society are.
I'm a little bit confused. So you'd be against your government's policies about how strong they are on migrants, yes?
Definitely, yes. I think some of our integration policies are not that bad. They've been quite effective, actually.
Can I just ask you a question? Why would you be against a policy that successfully dealt with a problem that is causing huge issues in so many European countries, financially and socially? Surely the people of Denmark are happy to see that their own lives aren't being so blighted by this steady stream of illegal migrants who aren't vetted coming into their country.
My focus is on the Refugee Convention on the Human Rights, and to save those people's lives and to give them a chance of security. And I have to say, I heard the previous discussion you had. In general, if you look over a long term, refugees and migrants are an asset and a resource to any economy. If you need money for the poorest Britain people, the white people in Britain, I think you should look at your tax system probably.
Can I ask you something? Because and you're far more intelligent than me, and I'm actually glad I'm asking this of somebody who comes from another country, because somebody would say, I have no agenda here. I just want to ask you something. You say, just let me finish. They are an asset to any economy. OK? Explain to me the moral stance that you and others take of a young man who apparently leaves a war-torn country, hear me out, is so concerned by the social situation he finds himself in, leaves his wife and kids there, travels across Europe to various countries that are safe, but doesn't stay there, comes to the United Kingdom because, I don't know about Denmark, because we'll put them in a 4-star hotel, give them a mobile phone and money, we'll get you to see a doctor and a dentist within 24 hours. No, this is really important. And the British people will look and go, however moralistic I am, for somebody to say that is an asset to this economy, an unvetted human being, to the detriment of the indigenous population, how is that a benefit? I don't get it. I genuinely don't.
As Matthew in the previous talk pointed out, people are coming, first of all, they're coming alone because they don't want to put their wives and kids...
So you leave your wife and kid to be bombed to death while you're trying to get a new life, yeah?
The journey is extremely dangerous. So you don't want to put your wife and a kid in a boat.
Well, come legally then, and then it won't be dangerous.
And the reason why they go to UK is not because of social security and hotels, I'm afraid to say that. And as Matthew said, France is actually doing a better job than you are. So the reason why people are coming to England, even from Denmark, some of them even have a permit in Denmark, but they choose to go to the UK. That is mainly because of the language and because of other family members that they have there already.
Why does everybody have family members in Great Britain? Why is that, by the way?
It's UK and London especially.
Oh, London.
Famous for some reason, like the USA. People think that it's an easy place to make a living, like you will have a chance there.
Oh, right, yeah, but hold on a second. You've just given it away, and let me jump in. You will have a chance there. My argument is this, which people like you will never answer. What about the people in this country paying their tax who are not doing very well because of the stretch that's happening to the things in this country?
As I said before, the poor English people should look at the British tax system and it's not the migrants who are stealing their cake. It's the rich population in UK.
Interesting. Thank you very much, though. We love it. We've gone very left-wing in the last 34 minutes. Michala, Clante, Bendixen, I should have realised, leader of Refugees Welcome. It comes back to it, though. It comes back to it the whole time, right? I've always said, I don't know what you think. We've got half an hour. Let me know. I think that in the past, we've always tried to do what's right in this country. And we can sit here and we can say, oh, they're coming from war-torn countries. Or we can say, no, they're taking the mickey. We can hear her say they speak English, whatever. Fact of the matter is, wherever you are in the UK, whether you're at work, you've done a night shift, whatever, we all now know how hard it is to pay the food bill. We all know how hard it is to pay the electricity bill. We all know how hard it is to see a doctor or a dentist. These are not made-up facts. When you see people who ain't paying into a system come into your country and not get treated the same but get treated better, I will not be lectured by anybody telling me that that's, human rights and that's unfair. No, actually, start thinking, and maybe it sounds I'm talking only about the British people. I'm not. Come in the past, but right now we're too skint to deal with our own, and that's the fact.